Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have some exciting news to share with you all. It seems like the A319Neo is making a massive comeback in the aviation industry. Can you believe it? This is huge! I mean, let's take a moment to appreciate the significance of this and talk in detail about what it really is. Let's get started. Most of the time, the Airbus A320neo line has been a huge success. The Airbus A320neo and Airbus A321neo models will be the backbone of many airlines' narrow-body operations for many years to come. Both full-service airlines and low-cost airlines, as well as everything in between, will respect them. On the other hand, the smaller A319neo type, which only a few airlines have bought, stands out as an obvious exception to this trend. 40 orders are undisclosed or not for airlines. Airbus has only received a total of 61 orders for its A319neo model so far, according to the company's most current data on orders and deliveries. Airbus is a global European company that makes planes. So far, only 14 of them have been sent. More than half of these orders, or 31, are for users whose names are being hidden. Only 9 of the 30 sales left for customers whose names are known are for private consumers. 5 of these planes have been given to customers by Airbus, but the names of these customers are not listed in the company's most current data. But if we look at the data stored on ch-aviation.com, we can find out a little bit more about the 5 private A319neos that the website now says are in operation. They're flown for Global Jet Luxembourg, Jet Aviation Business Jets, K5 Aviation, Sino Jet Management, and the Uzbek government. Their comfortable sitting arrangements can fit between 19 and 24 people. Chinese carriers have a penchant for the type. Because there are so many airlines in China, it's an important market for the Airbus A319neo. China Southern Airlines has already put in an order for 9 of these types of planes and has already put 4 of these very rare twin jets into service, where they're making money. In February 2022, it got its first one of these, and a month later, it took its first customers. From information gathered in other parts of the country, we know that Air China has placed an order for 5 A319neos and that Sichuan Airlines wants 2 of these planes. It's interesting to note that Chinese airlines have shown some interest in the type, even though China is in the process of putting out its own narrow-body plane, the Comac C919. In the most current report on orders and deliveries that Airbus made public, only Tibet Airlines was listed as having ordered an A319neo. According to ch-aviation, this carrier has already received all 5 of the models it had ordered, and they could arrive anytime between September 2022 and July 2023. But for now, they're all being put away in storage. A commercial failure? Compared to the A320neo and A321neo types, which have been ordered hundreds of times between them, the lack of orders for the A319neo is a stark difference. On the other hand, it seems to be hurting because of how well another Airbus plane, the A220-300, is doing. This plane has been very popular, and since it has some of the same features as the A319neo, it takes away some of that market. In the past, Spirit's order for 31 A319neos showed that that type had a good chance of breaking into the US market. Simple Flying reported this month that the ultra-low-cost carrier with the yellow logo has now changed these planes into purchases of the larger A321neo aircraft. Because of this, it looks like the type's future is in danger, which means that any new developments are likely to be of great interest. Design. Before it got its official name, the A319 was called the A320M7, which was its temporary name. The plane got its name because it's mostly an A320 with 7 frames taken out. Because 4 frames were taken out in front of the wings and 3 frames were taken out behind them, the length was cut by 3.73 meters or 12 feet 3 inches. None of the other changes that were made to the A319 improved its general performance. They were all just changed to fit this change. In place of the bulk cargo door, the A320 now has an aft cargo door. The A319 can only carry the shorter LD-345 containers because the new luggage door is smaller and full-size LD-3 containers can no longer fit on the plane. The number of exits over the wings was also cut from 4 to 2 based on the configuration. This saved Airbus a small amount of money, but the number of exits has to stay the same in setups with 156 seats because the law says so. Since the A320's fuel tanks were used in the A318, the A319's range was longer than that of its bigger brother. It could go a total of 3,750 nautical miles or 6,950 kilometers if the extra sharklets were added. It's possible that the plane was powered by two 111KN 25,000 IBF CFM International CFM 56-5A or International Aero Engines IAE V2500A5 engines, planned for the new engine alternative. The Neo project, whose name stands for New Engine Option, started with the A320 in December 2010. When engines from the next generation were put into the series, they made a big difference in how well it ran and how much petrol it used. Airbus decided to keep the A319 program going, but the A320 and A321 models, which have a better return on investment, will get upgrades before the A319. The A319Neo got its approval at the end of 2018, and Spirit Airlines was the first company to put it into service in early 2019. The A319 could have either two CFM International LEAP 1A engines or two Pratt & Whitney PW1100G JM engines. Each of these engines puts out 121 kN or 27,120 IBF of thrust. The power units of CFM International made 120.4 km or 27,070 IBF. This time the Sharklets are standard, which makes the wingspan longer than the real aeroplane. Surprisingly, the most recent change has a negative effect on success as a whole. The range of the A319Neo is 100 kilometers or 50 nautical miles less than that of its predecessor, the A319. This is because the fuel tank has been made smaller. Taking a look ahead, during its 24-year production run, the A319 CEO type sold a total of 1,487 planes. This shows that it was a success, so Airbus will continue to service and make the planes. The new form, on the other hand, doesn't work as well. The A319 just came out in 2019, and since then it's only sold about 87 units, which is less than 1% of what the A320 has sold. Even though sales have been poor, Airbus has said that there are no plans to stop making this type of plane. On the other hand, this could change in the future if this choice is not accepted by the business world. Details about how the Airbus A319 works and how it flies. Because the A319 and the A320 share a type of certificate, pilots who work on the A320 family of planes can switch between the different models without getting more training. This is one of the best things about the A320 class of planes that Airbus has to offer. To get a shared type rating, all of the variants' performance and flight traits must be the same. It would be very expensive to change the frame of the A319 so that it could mimic the way the A320 flies. So, to make the A319 act like the A320, experts changed the settings of the fly-by-wire system. The engines used in the A319 have also been derated, which means they have less power, but the throttle response is still the same. What do you think about the future of the A319Neo? Will Airbus continue to make the plane, or could it be the next one to see its production end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned with us for more interesting information.